The Portal concept, it's a vehicle that focuses on millennial customers and their evolving needs as they develop families of their own. It addresses what they might need in early family stages, and then it can grow with them with upgradability and modular features, functions, and software. I think one of the biggest goals we set forth was to not approach it like a traditional automotive enclosure, but more like a beautiful place that we wanted to be in. There's lots of light throughout the cabin because of all the daylight openings in the roof structure, and also the horizontal lights that are at the base of the sliding portal doors. So this really makes the cabin feel open, light, and airy, and that's a really important element to creating a beautiful place. One of our biggest inspirations for the styling of the vehicle was mid-century modern furniture, because it's so classic in that it celebrates what is comfortable and what is structural equally, and it's usually a statement of high contrast, whether that be in material or color. So what is dark and light, what is hard and soft, and that's a theme that kind of plays throughout the entire interior cabin. The palette was selected because we understand that millennials have a more sophisticated and understated attraction to collections like this, and that's why we selected grays, heathers. We wanted this vehicle to feel like when you got inside that you were putting on your favorite sweater or maybe your favorite shirt, and then you want to bling it up a little with some accent cufflinks or a splash of color in a necklace. And so that was kind of the theory inside the cabin with the color and trim. We wanted to have this beautiful neutral backdrop and then splashes of an intense jewel-toned inspired accent color that could be selected by the customer. Well, in the stowed position, the steering wheel appears to be a seamless part of the instrument panel sculpture. But when deployed, the horn pad slides forward, the scissor arms position the handles, and it is truly a work of art on its own. I love how it's really soft and tactile in the front, and then behind it, it's very hard industrial design statement. And so it's this interesting contrast, but also this really beautiful example of what industrial designers call surprise and delight. And it's really a focal point, and I think is really well celebrated inside the cabin. The instrument panel is also really interesting because it's a statement of contrasts. There's this soft contoured IP pad on top, and it's supported by a stark piano black element beneath it. And that houses a lot of the instruments and controls, and they're kind of seamlessly integrated into that sculpture. And there's also a panoramic screen that sits on top of that soft white contoured pad that displays a lot of the information that's essential to the driver, but is also very much visible by every other passenger in the vehicle. We know that millennials are strapped down by student loans. They don't have as much expendable income as the generation before them. So we really want to give them everything they need, but nothing they don't at that phase in their life.